Diane Warren, you've been nominated 11 times at the Oscars for songwriting, and this year you have multiple songs in the awards conversation from the movies The Life Ahead, The One and Only Ivan, and Emperor. Now of those,
More the first two. More the first
oh,
two.
more the first two, yeah. Of those, Yossi from The Life Ahead is kind of a departure in that it's performed in Italian. So what did you actually initially think about writing a song for a foreign language film?
Yeah, so I wrote the song "Scene." I wrote it for The Life Ahead. I wrote it in English, and I was really inspired by reading that script. It was such a powerful, moving story, and I kept saying this word "scene" because they're, Madame Rosa, Sophia Loren's character, and Momo, the young boy. The world doesn't see them for who they are. They see her as a old woman, former prostitute who takes care of prostitutes' kids. They see Momo as, a street criminal, but yet they find this, they truly see each other. They truly love each other and understand each other. And I got that, and I thought that word "seen" was so important, because to truly see each other, that's what, I don't know if I'm being very articulate here. I don't know if I even answered your question, but I wrote it in English. And it's kind of funny. So when they first put it in the movie, it wasn't working at all, right? Like, I'm like going, we tried to arrange it different ways. And all of a sudden, me and Bonnie Greenberg, the music supervisor, goes, wait, the movie's in Italian. The song can't be in English. Of course, it's jarring. So I thought, I always wanted, Laura Pausini, who's like the best female singer in Italy. She's a diva. She's a legend. I thought, we had talked about working with each other for years. Why don't I go to Laura and let's get a great Italian version. And then Laura got involved in writing the Italian lyrics. And that's how it got there in Italian. But I've never had, a song in a movie sung in a different language like that. And it's so beautiful. Like, the thing is, that's kind of funny is so many people tell me they'll see the movie and they're sobbing with, hearing the song. They don't even necessarily know what the song's saying.
And what was that sort of like that translation process like? Were you involved in sort of keeping that kind of melody and the meaning of the song intact while the language was being translated into Italian?
Well, they kind of had freedom. I mean, it's pretty much based on, it's the same concept as my song, but of course, a literal translation never is right. It's never exactly, because the language barriers. So it has to sound beautiful in its own language, and the vowel sounds and the way it's sung. And I stayed out of it, because who am I? I don't speak the language, so I couldn't have any I couldn't have any criticism of it. But when I heard it, it just sounded beautiful. And of course in the movie, it just fits so beautifully because it becomes Madame Rosa speaking to Momo. And also in my mind, it was Momo speaking to Madame Rosa, and then beyond the movie, I think we all want to be seen. And a lot of us, in a divided world and country right now, a lot of us, don't really see each other for really who we are.
And it won the Best Song Award at the Capri Hollywood International Film Festival.
Yeah.
What was that like, getting that recognition?
It's great. Anytime any of my songs get recognized and heard or seen, as the case may be. No, it was great. It's the first award that song's won. So hopefully there's more. People seem to really love this song. I know I have other songs in contention. This one feels like the one everybody really, really loves. And is really moved by right now.
And the music video is such a moving aspect of it too, like with footage of the film, but also these different faces, just singing these lyrics, and then Sophia Loren you see at the very end of that video. Yeah.
And they're all immigrant women. All the women are immigrants. That Eduardo Ponti, the director, wanted to do that, for the video, to have immigrant, that maybe aren't seen. So it was a powerful message in that movie. I mean, in that video. to see that. And even if you don't know that, you're right. You're seeing all these women, and you're just, you know, it's a beautiful video.
And your other song, "Free," from the one and only Ivan, that was performed by Charlie Puth for that Disney film. Was this your first opportunity to work with Charlie Puth, and what was it like writing a song for him, or did you know that he was gonna sing it when you wrote it?
Well, I know Charlie. Charlie and I know each other, and we talked about working with each other before, and after I wrote the song, I thought, okay, so I'm digressing a little bit. I'll go back to like the other song for a second. Even with Laura Pausini, like when I cast an artist to do a song for a movie, they almost could be in that movie. Like Laura could have been a character. She could have, and the same with Charlie. I don't know what animal he'd be in the one and only Ivan, but I could. He really fit that movie. He really fit the song. I sent it to him on a Sunday morning, and he recorded it Sunday night. So he really loved it, and he doesn't usually do other people's songs. He writes his own. So that's always cool when a songwriter does your song that never does people's songs. And I love that song too, and I love the movie. Look, I got really lucky this year with a couple of these movies. They're both fantastic movies. I mean, The Life Ahead and One and Only Ivan, both great movies.
And one of the interesting things about both songs is that they present this idea of this optimistic, uplifting idea of in terms of being seen and in terms of being free, regarding these characters who aren't necessarily seen and aren't necessarily free. Like, what's it like to kind of to take those themes and try to find that sense of optimism and uplift in them?
I love to have songs that have hope in them. As far as seen, they do see each other. The world doesn't see them, but the beautiful thing is that they do see each other. And as far as free, yeah, it's a longing. And when you see the one and only Ivan, and you realize Ivan's story, and and these, I mean, I'm a big animal rights advocate. Besides music, songwriting, my other passion is animal rights. So that movie spoke to me. And yeah, the irony of, they're anything but free, but at the end they do become free. They do get to a sanctuary, and they get to live out their life in freedom. And we're all in a time where we don't feel very free. So I think that song is, goes beyond. I think both these songs kind of go beyond the movie. They're perfect for the movies they're in, but then they kind of go beyond it, and it's about life. It's about the life we're living.
Yeah, and that seems to be something that I've noticed from all of the songs you've written for films, is that they refer very specifically to a story, but at the same time there's a kind of universality to them.
Yeah.
Where you can apply them to any number of aspects of your life, anyone's life.
I do that on purpose. I mean, you can go back to, the song I wrote that Gaga sang for The Hunting Ground, Till It Happens to You. I don't say what it is, but it within that movie is, sexual assault on campus, but the song goes way beyond that. And it could be whatever you want it to be. Stand up for something. I didn't say what something was, and then it went further than the movie, and it became like a protest anthem, which is really cool. So you leave something open, and that's what I try to do. First and foremost, the songs have to work within that movie. Without that, it doesn't work. But the best case scenario is when you can do that, and then the song has this life outside of the movie, which I've really been lucky, with a lot of these songs.
And writing these songs for these specific films, how much do you consider like the music of the film, the sound and style of the film, in terms of crafting a song that fits thematically and also musically?
Well, a lot of times I don't hear the score of the movie when I write the song. So I'm just going by what I'm feeling, to be honest. Sometimes they'll score my melodies into the movies. It'll go like that. But I usually don't, I mean, it has to fit, it has to, my song has to fit the story of that movie. So I'm thinking of that, especially if it's an end song. I want to walk away from that movie like what do I want to hear at the end of that movie? What's gonna make me feel emotional or feel something, or tie it together emotionally. So that's what I mainly think about as far, that's, I don't know if I answered your question, did I?
Oh yeah, definitely. And of course, having multiple songs in the awards conversation, you've been nominated 11 times, including the last few years in a row. Haven't won yet. Yes, Oscars. We're still waiting for Diane Warren's Oscar. And you know, what's it like having, as you mentioned, you've had a lucky year where you've had multiple songs that people are talking about from films, and you know, what's it like having like multiple kind of songs being considered in this way?
Well, it's always, I love that people love these songs and stuff. You know, that being said, I mean, I just you know, I kind of almost have to concentrate on one at this point. You know, you don't want to, since it's, you know, maybe, you know, you never know this year. I don't want to split my vote really, if you know. And I love like Scene with EOC, Scene, and I'm Free. I love both songs, and I just feel like everything, you know, with EOC, with Scene, it's Sophia Loren. It's this, I don't know, that's probably my best shot, I'm guessing. So, you know, but it feels great. I'm again, like I said, I'm lucky. I'm so proud of both of these songs, and they're both from fantastic movies. You know, I mean, sometimes, you know, some of the songs I write movies for aren't, you know, might not be my favorite movies, but I got to write songs for two movies that are among my favorite movies that I've ever written songs for. So.
And it's been a strange year with you know, yeah, the pandemic and all of that, to say the least. I'm wondering if that has has it affected your creative process, like how you work on a film or like collaborate with musicians, or like what has that been like in the last year?
Well, my writing process is the same. I mean, I basically sit in a room by myself. So, oh wow, there's a pandemic. I have to sit in the room by myself. I mean, so that hasn't changed. But what's really good is nobody's in my office, and I really have learned to love that. So I have this whole place to myself, and I'm getting even more done. You know, it's a little more complicated, you know, the recording process, but people have home systems. You know, they can record at their houses now. So, but it's easier to reach people. That's a good thing. You know, everybody's home basically, but we all want this to be over. And one of the things about this time of year that is so fun, like when you're, you know, this whole award season thing, is you see all your friends at all these screenings and events, and there are people you only see this time of year. And, you know, I mean, I miss seeing all my friends anyways, but this kind of time of year is kind of a fun thing for movies and your friends, and, you know, but as far as my process, it's basically the same. I just show up and come to work like I do every day. So.
Do you have other songs in the work for 2021? Like again, the industry is in such a strange place, but yeah, are those opportunities still
movie stuff
there? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of good ones for next year too. You know, like I got some really great stuff I'm working on. You know, it's just time is so weird. Like I'm thinking what next year, but it's this year, I guess. I mean, I don't know, it's all crazy, but yeah, I'm working on some really great stuff. Yeah, a lot of amazing stuff in progress and in process. So I'm excited. You know, I'm so lucky. You know, so I don't take that for granted. And yeah, so.
Well, I want to congratulate you on you know, all of the work you've done in the past year, all of the work that you will continue to do, I'm sure. And I look forward to the next 11 Oscar nominations and that win, the Academy. We want that Diane Warren win, absolutely. So
you know what's really cool? You know what's really cool? This this Oscar is on my dad's birthday, April 25th, and I'm like, maybe that's a sign. Who knows?
Yes, I fingers crossed. As we keep our fingers crossed every year. So thank you again for joining me, and it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Great to talk to you. Stay safe.
You too.